everybody. My name is Anna Hawkins, and I am an English-Spanish tutor with the Office of Student Success here at TSDC. And here today I'm going to show you a really neat trick that you can use when you're trying to do accent marks in Spanish. So there are two rules that you need to remember when you're trying to figure out if a word needs an accent mark or not. So, rule number one. States that if a word ends in a consonant not N or S, the emphasis should be on syllable number one. Don't get confused. A lot of this will make sense when I keep going, okay? So bear with me. Rule number two says that if a word ends in a vowel, an N, or an S, and I remember this by the word Venus, vowel, N, or S. The emphasis should be on syllable number two. All right, so remember, rule number one goes with syllable number one. Rule number two goes with syllable number two every single time. All right, now, when you're doing accents and you're trying to figure this out, there are 4 steps that will help you when remembering which one or how to figure this out. So, step 1, break the word into syllables. Step 2, number the syllables from the right. So bear with me again, okay, guys? We're getting to the good stuff. You number them from the right. Step 3, identify the word ending and rule number. Step 4, identify the real emphasis. Okay, now we're going to take a bunch of examples, and by the end of this, it'll all make sense, I promise. All right, so here we have our stuff, our rules. Let's take the word lápiz as an example. All right, so step 1 says we break the word into syllables. So we have la and pis. Okay? Step number 2 says that we number the syllables starting from the right. So from here it'll be 1, 2. Step number 3 says that we have to identify the word ending and the rule number. So we look at the words ending right here. It ends with a Z, which is a consonant. So now look at our rule numbers over here. The only one that says anything about consonants is number 1. It ends with a consonant that's not an N or an S. Okay, so we know that according to this, according to the rules, the emphasis should be on this syllable right here. So in step number 4, we have to identify the real emphasis of the word. And the trick to this is getting really dramatic when you say the syllables. So don't just go lápiz, 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 lápiz. No, say really, really emphasize. So according to the rule, it says that this emphasis should have the accent on it. So let's say it. Lápiz. Doesn't quite sound right. Let's try lápiz. Lápiz. Lápiz has the accent mark, the emphasis right here. So according to the word, the emphasis is on syllable number 2. Now here's the trick, guys. The only time you use an accent mark is when the word breaks its rule. This one should be number 1, but it's acting like number 2. It's a tricky word. It's breaking the rules. You have to put an accent mark to let the reader know that this word is breaking the rules. It's not lápiz, it's lápiz. Now here's a really cool trick. If the word doesn't need an accent mark, if it's following the rules, look at the ending. Syllable number 1, rule number 1. The numbers match, so you do not need an accent. But in this word, it's doing syllable number 2, which is not following. It should be number 1, but it's number 2. The numbers don't match. You need to put an accent mark on it. All right, let's do one more example. Let's take the word elefante. All right, step number 1. All right, we got to break the word into syllables. So we've got elefante. Okay, we got them broken into syllables. Step number 2, we're going to number them starting from the right. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, step number 3, identify the word ending and its rule number. According to the rules, what should its rule number be? All right, it ends with a vowel. So we go up to here and we look at our rule numbers. Rule number 2, if a word ends in a vowel, an N, or an S, and in this case it ends in an E, which is a vowel, the emphasis should be on syllable number 2. Okay, so according to the rules, the emphasis should be right here. All right, step number 4, we identify the real emphasis. Now, remember, you have to get really dramatic. Let's say every syllable dramatically to see if we can find where the emphasis goes. So you'd say, elefante, 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 elefante. Which one of those sounds right? Elefante, elefante, elefante. The accent is on number 2, right here. Elefante. So, since the syllable number emphasis matches with the rule number emphasis, 2 and 2, you don't need an accent mark because it's not breaking the rules. So, remember this. Only rule breakers need an accent mark. So words like lápiz need an accent mark because they're breaking the rules. Words like elefante are following them, so you don't need to have an accent mark on them. So, if you remember all of these, just these 2 rules and these 4 steps, and remember that only rule breakers need an accent mark, you're going to be set for all of your Spanish, at least the accent marks, things that you're going to need to know for Spanish. So once again, my name is Ana Hawkins, and I'm a Spanish and English tutor with the Office of Student Success, and I will be here, and hopefully many other Spanish tutors to come if you guys ever need help. And also, all of these rules will be on a sheet of paper in Lab W124 if you guys want to go and pick one up so you can go and learn this and keep it for yourself. Thank you so much for watching, and have a great day.